Hi guys, welcome to my second video. Our first topic, my first topic, is going to be duality, and my setup is not really ready for now, but I'm open to suggestions. What can I improve about my setup? But if I wait for the perfect setup, I don't think I'm ever going to share any videos. So here we are. So understanding duality is very important in order to kind of build a better structure of understanding our worlds. So, duality is how we perceive things in the world. If we cannot have duality, uh, without duality, we cannot even understand what the fuck is going on in a way. So, my first example I like to give is if we had some kind of a space that there was nothing and we had just one circle or a ball in a way. If somebody asked us, is this ball small or is this ball big? And our natural response should be this, we don't know, according to what, right? And without this is because our consciousness is kind of works with duality. If we cannot have something to compare, we cannot understand some of the qualities. Okay, so this is the basis of duality. It's how we perceive the world. But if we go deeper about the subject, it is the yin yang, as we all know what yin yang is, right? Okay, and I believe this is a very deep subject that all of us needs to understand in order to function in the world and understand why things happen in the world in a way and why things happens inside us. If we cannot understand the duality, we cannot understand the world and ourselves in a deeper sense. We are more likely to complain about things and maybe have unrealistic worldviews. Okay, so duality, I believe there's just two things in the bigger sense. And I think these things are masculine and feminine. I think this is the basis of the duality. I think we can look at everything and decide if it's like a feminine energy or masculine energy. So, masculine and feminine. I'm not going to go into the deep analysis of which energy is masculine or which energy is feminine. That's another topic. So, first, we need to understand the duality, and I'm not going to be able to cover everything about the duality for now, but in continuing videos I'm going to connect every perspective or every aspect into duality, so it's going to be understood more deeply, I guess. I hope so. So so world needs to be in balance, first of all. This is the basis, this is the baseline of this duality concept. The first one was everything needs to be in duality so we can perceive things. Because if we like look at the light and the dark, if we don't have any dark, we cannot have a word to put into the light. We don't need to, you know what I mean? Because that's all we know. If all the world has only good people in it, there was no need to put and invent a world that is the good, because there was nothing the opposite. So everyone is good. So that's the baseline, and we don't need to understand the good and bad. So in a way that we are actually, if you think that you're a good person, you think you're a good person because of the bad person you perceive. If that bad person wasn't exist, you wouldn't be calling yourself a good and feeling good. You know what I mean? So in a way that you are actually owing, in a way, that person to call yourself good, feeling good about yourself. If you think that you're rich and you feel good about it, you know that you are rich because there are poor people on the planet. You know what? So these two concepts always goes hands to hands. If one doesn't exist, the other isn't exist either. But I think most of the people don't really see this when they look at yin yang. They see this as a stable form. Like they look at this and they think it's just like this and stays like this. I hope it can see clearly. So, but actually, this formation is moving. It's alive. It has its own life. It's not stable like this. It's just two energies always try to conquer each other, always try to dominate each other, but they cannot. It's impossible. So I think this is the right way to, in a way, show the world how this energy moves. Sometimes we move towards this area, sometimes move towards this area. This is the balance in the world. People look at this world and think that balance is the equality. No, balance is more deeper than that. Balance is not just uh, both energies or both good and bad needs to be equal, but balance is moving in a way that moves. Okay, when we look at the world, a couple of hundreds of years ago, masculine energy was more dominant in the world, but now we can see that feminine energy is more dominant in the world. It moves like this, and we are going to see that maybe in a couple of hundreds of years, masculine energy is going to be more dominant in the world again. And like there's this saying that good man creates good times create like weak man create hard times create good man. So you can see that even in that saying there is a balance how to understand how the world works, and that's very true. And this is so deeply rooted in our reality, even in our biology. When you look at the how our dopamine receptors works, if you take a cocaine or like some kind of a drug that is spikes up your dopamine levels, you are going to get a very bad times too. Like when you spike up your dopamine levels, you don't stay there because it needs to have a balance inside of it. And when you become like, let's say you are a kind of a person who doesn't like to feel pain, right? And you are running away from the pain and you wanna get into the good feelings, right? Happiness or Europia in a way. And most of the people, because they don't understand the duality and how our biology works in with this system, because as above as below, right? They try to kill all the bad feelings in order to achieve the good feelings or the Europia. But if they would have understand this concept, they would know that if you kill the other side, if you numb the other side, your ability to feel the good feelings will be declined either, because it needs to have a balance. If you cannot deeply feel pain, feel bad feelings, you will lose your ability to feel good things, happiness in a more higher level. Because, like again, I say, everything moves with duality and it moves with balance. If you kill one side, the other sides die too. So we even our in political waves, even our how we baseline try to express ourselves, we always think that if we our point of view win the world, if our point of view dominated the world, things will be better. But it just doesn't. It doesn't work like that. You need the other side in order to the world to work. If you kill the other side, you will lose yourself. You will lose your side too. So what I do in a way to cultivate inside myself at least, I always try to understand the other side's mission, helping me and making me more valuable. If I think that I am a disciplined person and I'm proud of myself, my natural instinct is to judge the other person who are not so much disciplined as much as me, right? And I think I try to always think like, why are you not disciplined? You need to do this, so you will be happy, right? This is our basic instincts. But think about this. You are valuable. I am valuable because there are people who aren't disciplined. This is what makes me valuable because I'm different than them. I'm doing something different than them. If everybody was disciplined, there was no benefit for me to be disciplined. Nobody will see this as a another value. So instead of, and this is concept is kind of integrated with ego concept, and that's like I said, every concept is very deeply rooted in between them. They're always, everything is always goes hands to hand. You need to internalize every concept in order to understand the whole picture, because if you just go with the one perspective, yeah, it doesn't bring lots of benefits, at least for me. So if we stick to duality perspective, like I said, while I try to use this concept inside of myself, like if I feel bad about something, if I'm feeling pain, I try to look at this as an opportunity, as an understanding of myself, and I try to be grateful that I can feel this much pain or sadness because I have a potential to feel as much as be happiness as much as good things too. So I try to feel grateful towards things that I don't even naturally, instinctively understand its value. I try to understand its value because, like I said, this is how the world works. If we lose the other side, we lose the parts that we love. If we lose the parts that we love, I mean, there's no point to living, right? So this is the reality, and I think if we are understand this reality and try to use it more consciously in our lives, we could be having a more meaningful and happy life. This is what I believe. And like I said, this is just one part of the duality, and there are going to be more deeper analysis of this subject in the coming days with the different topics. So stay tuned.